Okay, so connecting with the previous forecasting model, the new model in the row is the exponential smoothing model. So until now we have already discussed simple average model, simple moving average model, simple weighted moving average model. So now exponential smoothing is another advanced model in the forecasting series. We will be using a smoothing factor. Normally we will denote that with the sign of alpha. Exponential smoothing model use a smoothing constant alpha as an adjustment in determining the forecast. So it's more related like the weighted moving average, but in more weighted moving average we assign the heaviest weight on the most recent, but we will inject this alpha which is also called smoothing constant through on the old data. We will inject this on the old data, and then after that when we smooth the data, because once again I just want to mention it again that behind the main objective of the forecasting model to smooth the data. When you smooth the data, then your prediction will be accurate, your forecasted value will be accurate. But if there is too much ups and down, if there is too much fluctuation in the data, if there is too much noise factor in the data, then your accuracy will be reduced. A smoothing constant is a value assigned by the forecaster. So once again you will assign this smoothing constant value, and I will show you. We can check that how much it, when you inject a specific smoothing constant on a specific data, what will be the behavior of the data when you inject this. So I will also show you with a simple example that how it will make a data set smoother. So a smoothing constant is a value assigned by the forecaster to adjust the forecast based on the forecast assumption of the relationship between sales in one time period and sale in the next time period. So you will use this smoothing constant with your own intuition, with your own experience. You can use hit and trial while using Excel. Alpha can have any value between 0 and 1. So we already know that the total probability is equal to 1, or the 0 will be the lower bound and 1 will be the upper bound. So we need to assign this smoothing constant between 0 and 1. It will not be 0, because when you multiply 0 with any value, it will become 0. When you multiply 1 with any specific value, it will become the same value. So we will choose the value between 0 and 1. However, alpha is normally, but in most exponential smoothing models, in most exponential smoothing application, the forecaster normally use 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. But once again, it depends on your intuition. I will show you that how it will affect your data set. So I'm just going to the mathematical properties of the exponential smoothing, how we will mathematically interpret this exponential smoothing. Normally, subjectively we can write new forecast because we want to forecast for the coming month, so it will be a new forecast is equal to last period forecast plus A, which is basically the smoothing or weighting constant. A is the smoothing or weighting constant. The value of A will be greater than or equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, it means you not injected any. But if it is greater than 0, then it means it will impact on the whole data set. But it will be less than or equal to 1. If it is equal to 1, so it will not affect on the whole data set. It will be same as it is. Last period forecast plus alpha. So normally mathematically for new forecast we can write this ft, which is the time period for which you want to conduct the forecast, is equal to previous forecast. T mean we want to conduct forecast for the month of June, but June minus 1 it will be May, so mean last period forecast plus alpha is into last period actual demand. What you have the actual demand, for example if you want to forecast for June, what is the actual demand for May? T minus 1 represent May, time period May, minus last period forecast. Minus last period forecast mean the last period forecast which you already forecasted, where ft is equal to, so once again ft is the new forecast, ft minus 1 is the previous forecast, and A is the smoothing or weighting constant, which we normally denote with the sign alpha. The objective while choosing alpha, you need to make sure that the main objective we want to smooth the data. You need to check the behavior. You need to sketch the data. Then after that you will decide what will be the exact value of this smoothing constant. So the objective is to obtain the most accurate forecast no matter the technique. So once again, we not need to only rely on the exponential. I am not saying that it is 100% accurate technique. Once again, it depends on you, it depends on your experience, it depends on your intuition, it depends on the data which you have collected so far. What kind of data is it? Is it time series data? Is it transactional data? It depends on you. But the objective is to use such a forecasting technique which give you not 100% but at least near to 100% accuracy. We generally do this by selecting the model that give us the lowest forecast error. So once again, I highlighted this in the blue color. You need to use that forecasting technique which give you the lowest forecast error. And what is, how you will calculate the forecast error? We have already done in most of the example in the moving average and weighted moving average, actual minus forecasted value. So now I'm just going to solve a very simple example, how to apply the exponential smoothing model on a specific data set. So this is a data set which we have already used for the weighted moving average. This is a daily based data. We start from 1st May and finish at 1st of July. This is time period. This is our actual sale. We have already used this data in the moving average, in the weighted moving average. Now I am just going to use this data for the exponential smoothing. So once again, this is that mathematical equation, ft plus 1. You can also write this ft plus 1. ft plus 1 mean you want to calculate for the June month. Let's suppose t represent May. So May is the 5th month. 5th plus 1 is the June. Alpha into actual sale at May, t represent May, plus 1 minus alpha, which is into ft, and this is the forecasted value. This is the forecasted value at May. This is the actual sale at May month, and this is the forecasted value of the May month. And this t plus 1 represent the forecasted demand for June. So how you will calculate? Make sure that the first value you need to write this as it is. So the 1st May actual sale is 245. So the forecast for the May, we need to use the naive approach in this one. I have already discussed naive approach in my previous lecture. Naive approaches mean today sale will be the previous day sale. So if the yesterday sale was 245, so today's sale will also be 245. So for the first one, you need to use the naive approach. So we just write 245, and you will start from the third one in the series. So the third one in the series, if I click this, I just enter the value. Let's suppose my alpha is 0.1. As I already mentioned that the alpha value will be lie between 0 and 1. Let's suppose I am using 0.1. How I will choose this? I will show you that why I choose 0.1. If I change this alpha value, what will be the impact? What will be the behavior of the data? Definitely when I change this 0.1, if I change with 0.7, then the data behavior will be automatically changed. So how we will write this? 0.1 is my alpha value into actual sale. Actual sale. What is actual sale? So which is C4. Actual sale for the 2nd of May is this 244, because we want to predict for 3rd May. So t plus 1 represent 3rd May, and this is the actual sale of the previous day. Previous day is the 2nd May. So we just write C4. C4 is 244 plus 1 minus alpha, 1 minus 0.1, as I already mentioned, into FT. And what is the forecast? So for this forecast, we already use naive approach. So we are going to forecast for 3rd May, ft plus 1, and the previous forecast for which we already use naive approach, which is 245. So we will write 245. Then you need to drag it down, and at this way you will calculate the exponential smoothing forecast. For example, if I'm clicking randomly on this cell, so what it's showing? 0.1, which is alpha, and actual. What is actual? Because we want to calculate forecast for 10 May, and the actual was what? The actual was 255. Okay, we want to calculate for 11th May. 11th May, this cell. Okay, this is the cell, this cell. Alpha is the 0.1. Actual cell was 255 plus 1 minus 0.1 into the previous forecasted value. The previous forecasted value is 248.82. So at this way we will calculate the forecast. Now let me show you. Let's suppose we want to sketch this. We want to sketch this. So sketch it. You will see this is the sketch of the data. So this is my actual cell. You can see this is my actual cell. And this one is the forecasted exponential forecasting value cell, which is very, very smooth, and it also near to the reality. Now, in order to further proceed, we will calculate the forecast error. So how we will calculate the forecast error? Because I'm using to use absolute, I don't need the negative values. Okay, so absolute actual is 250 and minus this forecasted value and enter. So automatically you can calculate the forecasting error. So this is summation. This is the absolute A minus F actual minus forecast, which is this one. We sum this. This is N. How many number in this? N. And this is my mean absolute deviation. So mean absolute deviation formula is mean absolute deviation formula is equal to this divided by the number, or you can is equal to average of the, this is called absolute deviation. Absolute, because we put the absolute sign. Absolute make a negative to positive. Okay, so average, you need to select this. So this is 10.662. So if you want to use some another technique, weighted moving average or moving average, you also need to calculate mean absolute deviation. For example, the mean absolute deviation of this approach is 10.62. If the mean absolute deviation of another technique is less than this, then you need to choose that one. But in this case, it is 10.62. Let's suppose I use weighted moving average and the mean absolute deviation in such scenario is 11. So we will not be able to use weighted moving average, but we will use exponential smoothing average. Okay, trying another example. There is another example. Now I want to use the three techniques which we have studied so far: the simple moving average, weighted moving average, and exponential smoothing average. We have monthly data from January to December, and we want to predict for the next January. These are the fund price, simple moving average. So how you will calculate? Let's suppose I am using 3-month moving average. So 3-month moving average, we need to sum, and you need to consider the previous 3-month data. So I have just select this, divided with 3, and then you need to drag it down. When you need to drag it down, when you do it, you will construct 3-month moving average. Then in the next slide, we need to calculate the forecasted error. How you will calculate? I have already show you. This is my fund price minus the actual minus the forecasted. Okay, so at this way you will calculate the forecasted error. Then the square error, you can also calculate square, or if you want to use, let's suppose you want to use absolute, so you can also use absolute is equal to absolute this number, and then so you can also calculate mean absolute, and you can also use square. So how you will calculate square? You need to take this and take the square of this and drag it down. So at this way you can calculate. So mean, you can also calculate mean square error. Mean square error, you need to take the square of, you need to take the mean of the squared error. How you will calculate? Is equal to average average and select this whole. So this is 2.366. Okay, so this is our simple moving average. Now I am going to apply weighted moving average. So how we will calculate weighted moving average? Let's suppose I am calculating 3-month weighted moving average. I am applying the heaviest rate of 0.4 on the most recent period, 0.4 on the February, and 0.2 on the month of January, and divided with 0.4 plus 0.4 plus 0.2, because the formulation is apply the heaviest rate on the most recent month, then the next rate on the previous month, and next rate on another month, the starting month, divided by with the sum. So when you click this, you will drag it down. When you do this, you will get the forecasted weighted moving average. Once again, the forecasting error. So actual is for the month of April is this one, minus the forecasted weighted moving forecasted is this one. You will drag it down, and then you need to take the square, or if you want to calculate absolute deviation, so it's on you. You need to calculate absolute deviation. So in this example, there is a squared error. We will take the square in order to make it positive, and then you need to drag it down, and then you need to calculate the mean square error, average. So when you calculate average, it will be 2.002. Now in the third page, I'm going to show you if we use a smoothing factor 0.35, and if you want to calculate forecast while using exponential. So as I already told you, for the first January, for the February, you will use the naive approach. So in the naive approach, we consider that the current month will be same as the previous month data. So previous month is 36.772. So for January, we just take this forecast. From this, from the third month, we will start, and the formula is alpha. So alpha in this case, let's suppose is 0.35. You can see 0.35 into B3. B3 is the actual sale or fund price, actual in the previous month. Because we are going to conduct a forecast for March, the previous actual sale is 34.62, which is B3, plus 1 minus 0.35 into FT, and the forecast in the previous is this red one, which is 36, for which we use the naive approach. You will enter it, and then you need to drag it down, and similarly you need to calculate the actual is this one minus the forecasted is this one, and then you need to drag it down. So you will calculate the error. In the next column, you need to take the square. So take this one and take the square, and then you need to drag it down. Okay, you need to take square and then drag it down, and then you need to is equal to average of this whole. So this is the average. So from these mean square error, you can now decide that which forecasting technique is the most accurate one. So you can also use this as a measurement indicator. Mean square error of the simple moving average is 2.36. Mean square error of the weighted moving average is 2.002, and mean square error of the exponential smoothing is very high. So it's mean that the weighted moving average is the most feasible one, because it gives you the lowest error as compared to the simple moving average and as compared to the exponential smoothing average. Let me check it, that if we want to choose, let's suppose instead of 0.35, I'm just putting 0.1. I'm just taking this value as a 0.1. Let me check it. What will be the behavior of the series? What will be the behavior of the data? So I just change this from 0.35 to 0.1, and then I drag it down. So in this case, the mean square error is much more, which is 6.911. So at this way, you can choose the alpha in a specific data set. So this is further mean our results are more vulnerable. Our results are more riskier. Let me check it once again. Let me check it 0.9. If this value is 0.9, Okay, enter and drag it down. Okay, so now the mean square error value is very low, 1.777. You can see, which is much lower than mean square error of the weighted moving average, and which is much lower than the mean square error of the simple moving average. So in this example, if we choose this value 0.9, it's mean we injecting a very huge heavy value on the whole data set, because there is too much fluctuation in the data set. So that is why we use this heaviest value in order to smooth the data. So 0.9 is the smoothing constant, which give us the more accurate result, because as compared to the weighted moving average, simple moving average, the results of exponential smoothing average are much accurate than the other two. There is another example in which we have some weekly demand, from 1 to 6, and the demand for 1 is 650, and the demand, if we sketch it, the data behavior will be like this. If we sketch it, the data behavior will be like this. You can see this is the data behavior. Okay, mean it's from the first it's going down, from the second it's become a little bit going up, from the third it's going up, and from the fourth it's going down, from fifth it's going. So I mean it's a little bit behaving like a seasonal data. Now I'm going to apply simple moving average, weighted moving average, and exponential smoothing, and we using 5-period moving average, and we want to construct for the 7 months. So for 6, because I'm using now the 5-month previous data, so how we will calculate is equal to sum the 5-month previous data divided by 5, and if I drag it down, I will get the forecast for the 7th week, which is 585. 3-month period moving data. Okay, so the error, how we will calculate the error? If you want to calculate 3-month moving period, so 3 month in 3-month moving period, it will be sum of the 3-month previous 3 month divided by 3 now. And in this way we can also use the next week forecast. Okay, so if you want to calculate the error, is equal to actual is this minus this is 3-period moving forecast. So at this way we will calculate the error, which is this one, squared error. In the squared error you need to take the square of this. Okay, then we need to calculate mean square error. Mean square average is the average of this squared error. If you want to use 3-month weighted moving average, 3-month weighted moving average is the same like 3-period moving average, but we assign 0.5 the heaviest weight on the most recent month, which is 3rd, 0.3 for the 2nd week, and 0.2 for the 1st week, and divide with the sum of weight. So at this way we also calculate 3-period moving forecast. We also calculate in the next error, then we take the square error and we calculate mean square error. Similarly, for exponential smoothing, for week 1, for week 2 we will use the naive approach. Naive approach will consider the today as the previous day, so 650. So for the 2nd week 650 will be the demand. For this one we need to use this formula, because we are now calculating for the 3rd week. So for the 3rd week formula is, you can also use this formula, okay, which is 0.1. In this case it is 0.1 into actual. So actual demand is 521 plus 1 minus 0.1 into the previous forecast. FT is the previous forecast, which is for which we use the naive approach, which is 650. So then enter it and drag it down. Then you need to calculate error, then you need to calculate square error. So these are the mean square error for the smoothing, exponential smoothing. This is the mean square error for the weighted moving average, and this is the exponential, this is the weighted mean square error for the simple moving average. So which one give you the minimum low error? So in this case our exponential smoothing behaving very accurately, it give us very low error. Let's suppose, let me check it. I'm going to change this point from 0.1 to 0.9. Then what will be the impact? So please have a look this one. The impact will be, maybe it will be very high impact, maybe the mean square error will be totally changed. So you can see it now. Drag it down. So you can see which is very high, mean square error of exponential smoothing is very higher than weighted moving average, which is much higher than the simple moving average. So that is why we use 0.1. When you use 0.1, the error will be, mean square error will be 10,030, while for the mean square error for the weighted moving average is 14,000. For mean square error for the simple moving average is 11,000. So at this way, you will decide that this specific forecasting model is better than the other model. And at this way, you will choose that we need to use this specific forecasting approach on a specific data. Thank you.